Welcome guys to another video. I am Nair, and in today's video I was going to make a video about Shelby Oaks, but I feel like I didn't really have much to say, and I really don't I didn't really want to make a video about it, and so I watched Iron Lung, and I'm like, oh, it would be kind of cool to like maybe kind of compare or just talk about two YouTubers that made movies recently, which Jacksepticeye is also making one, which I'm highly anticipating. I'm excited for it. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I don't know, but I do know it's happening, so I cannot wait. Anyway, today's video is about analog horror. And why I want to talk about analog horror is I think it's a very interesting genre, version, whatever you want to call it, of horror. I think it is highly interesting. It can be very creepy, it could be very mid, it could be very goofy. And I think that's why I wish it would come into Hollywood. Somehow, someone make analog horror movies. Because analog horror could be like a horror comedy. Like, people like horror comedies, and it could be goofy, it could be really creepy, it can be interesting, it could be a franchise. There is a lot you could do with analog horror, but how would you do it in film? That is my main question. How would you do analog horror in film? Now, speaking of that, there's apparently a movie coming out sometime this year, maybe, called Dooba Dooba, which was shown at, I think, a festival, or it was given out to certain people to watch early, and it is apparently in an analog horror format. It's an anthology analog horror movie. The first of its kind, I'm pretty sure. Now, not like anthology. Anthology has existed for a while, but analog is different than anthology, I'm pretty sure. So, analog horror is just a genre of horror that I want to see be developed. I want to see analog horror movies being made. I want to see a horror movie labeled as analog and is maybe developed by one of these creators that have made analog horror series on YouTube and like make it into a movie. Cause I love horror movies, and that's my favorite type of horror. I don't really watch horror shows, even though technically The Walking Dead's horror, and I do want to watch From, but it is interesting to me that analog horror has never been conceptualized, made into a reality before YouTube in this modern era of analog horror. I'm surprised it's never been like in movie form. Like somehow a director came up with the idea beforehand, and we saw movies, and then they started being made into like series on YouTube. I just find it very interesting. I don't watch analog horror. I don't have series I'm waiting for new episodes, or I look out for, or search them out. I have seen bits and pieces of several different analog horror series, and I'm interested. I like the format. I think they could be interesting. I'm just not a big person on watching those type of things, like, individually. That's why I want a movie. I want it to become a movie or a subgenre in horror. I want to see that happen. If you're a director, if you're an inspiring filmmaker, and you have the budget, or you can find or have connections, make it happen, please. I don't know why my opinion would matter and someone would make a film because I said so, but man, doesn't other people want analog horror to be made into movies? Is it just me? Is it just me? I feel like it's just me. I've made this video before, but then I deleted it, and now I'm remaking it now. And because I still believe in the concept. I think it could be made into a movie. I think it could be more interesting as a movie. But analog horror movie or series are more tell than show, if that's That sounds weird because it's usually show and tell. It's both. Because they tell you things, they don't show you things. Sometimes they do. A lot of times they do. Maybe I'm sounding stupid, but like I feel like a lot of things they tell you things, they hint at things, they don't really show you. They're like, oh, here's this little creepy thing that might be coming up. Like, oh, you're gonna be so creeped out when you see this. Maybe I don't know. Let's just get analog horror. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Do you agree? Comment down below if you agree. Like and subscribe, turn notifications on, share to at least one friend. Comment down below if you agree. Do you want analog horror to be made into analog horror movies? I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.